Hello, interweb. Welcome back.
This is going to be a more serious video today.
A video? This is a podcast.
Well, actually...
So let's rethink let's rewire our brain to be in podcast mode.
Well, actually, what you guys... Only a certain select few of you know, if you're looking at Spotify right now, that this is, in fact...
A video
episode. Telepathy.
Also available on YouTube.
Sorry for acting really weird today. We just filmed our...
caffeine video.
What even was it? Yeah.
It was a truth or drink.
Yeah, it was a truth or drink. Wait, do you have other cool sunglasses? I kind of want to.
I actually kind of don't, but I can check in Carolina's room.
Like, do you think she would have purple ones, and then we can be like reverse?
No, she does not have purple ones, but I can check.
I mean, I have sunglasses, but you should check to see if she's any like colorful ones.
I don't think she does.
Okay, then never mind. Don't. It's okay. We'll just leave it up to you. But yeah, if you think we're acting weird today, it's because we are, and it's because we filmed it Truth or Drink on Enzo's channel with energy drinks specifically.
Insert Monsters, Red Bulls, Bang Energy, and then like the Sour Patch.
The Sour Patch one was
like,
I liked it.
I did too, question mark. Like they got the flavor down, but I think that's the problem. I can't explain.
I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't like crave it and be like, oh, I need to go get one of those right now. But like, I liked it for what it was. I'm also just not like a big energy drink person. Like, I don't really get the point.
Caffeine, I don't know. Like, I feel calm right now. I just feel a little bit like
silly.
We've been YouTubers today. Like, we've been influencers today. I would call myself an influencer after today.
Yeah, like I got here at 12:20 because I was 20 minutes late. And
I wasn't ready though at 12, so that worked out.
And then we went to go get the energy drinks for the video. And then we went to get salads for lunch.
We got salads, yes. Yes, on Anna's channel, we're doing a dopamine detox. These are all out. Is it? No. This Friday?
Oh, right. They'll be out.
They're coming out this Friday.
Yes. So mark your calendars for that.
I know, we spoiled it for you. Or not like spoiled it, but you get that exclusive announcement of what it is because we love our podcasting listeners.
Yeah. And if you came from our video, like if you watched our video and that's where you found out that we have a podcast. This is probably the first one you're listening to because it's the most recent one.
Exactly.
So hi and welcome and please stay because
we're a little bit more unhinged in this episode. So if that like if we scare you today, like don't completely lose faith in us.
Yeah.
Because I've lost faith in us today, but not like in general. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we're talking about basically just new beginnings because we are upon a new school year and just how to deal with change in your life. And I feel like we've done an episode similar to this. We wanted to talk about, I'm going into my senior year of high school and Anna's going into her senior year of college.
Why'd we both say
we're like really in sync today.
Yeah, we are.
We're so telepathy today.
And and because also, well, we'll get more into this when we actually like start the topic, but I feel like when there's like a new beginning, everybody, especially like with a new school year, for me, I always feel like I want it to be perfect and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be like so on top of things this year. Like as soon as I get an assignment, I'm going to do it and I'm never going to fall behind. But is that possible? Like,
I feel like the only time that people talk about this is around New Year's and sort of New Year's resolutions and like the expectation for a new year to be perfect. But I feel like there are so many different times of the year where you are beginning something new. And I feel like it's only talked about in January. So it's kind of refreshing to just sit back and talk about it in a different month for once.
Yes.
Or like not that we're the first people to ever talk about new beginnings outside of January, but
guys are so different. We're talking about new beginnings in August when like most things end, literally.
And like the summer's coming to an end, like summer break and the summer season. We are coming into fall.
So excited.
I think as soon as school starts, I'll accept fall. I think right now I'm like, no, summer, like please stay.
Yeah.
But as soon as the school year comes around, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
Might as well get some cooler weather.
Yeah. So before we get into the topic of new beginnings, we'll do our icebreakers, which is
nothing new.
Yeah. What?
Like that, if we're doing new beginnings, like our icebreakers are nothing new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I just realized I never thought of the camp question. But we're going to be like on the fly today. Except I'm not good at thinking things on the fly. Okay. Name, age, And what is your favorite type of bird?
Excuse me? Like,
Favorite type of bird.
I don't think I have a favorite type of bird.
Well, then come up with
Okay,
one.
I'm Enzo. I'm 17, and cardinal, because it's our state bird, and also Casey Musgraves has a song called Cardinal. Wait, how does it go?
Yeah,
Are
cardinal.
you bringing me a message to the other side?
Yeah.
Ba-da-da. Yeah.
I don't know.
Except I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, my name's Anna. I'm 21. And if I had to choose a favorite bird, it would probably be a hummingbird. And actually, all the hummingbirds are getting ready to migrate to Central America for the winter.
Yes, hummingbirds.
And I just fed them. We have like a hummingbird feeder outside. And
They ate.
Yeah,
You fed them
They
and they
kept
ate.
coming up to it, and there was no juice in it. So I'm working on refilling their juice right now. Actually, the hummingbird feeder is currently soaking.
Give them some of that me espresso.
And then they'll get some me espresso. But yeah, I think hummingbirds are cool. Yeah, I don't know why that was the camp question of the day, but
Yeah, I don't know either, but that's okay.
yeah, it's okay.
We forgive and we forget. We forget. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Music shout out.
Yes. Mine is a song Chlorine by Double Virgo.
You're pulling out all these like niche songs.
No, I have like a few of these like rock songs in my August playlist, and I just love
Where
the
did
vibe.
you find these? Like Discover Weekly?
Autoplay. I don't know. Like I don't really search music out. I kind of just, it comes to me.
Yeah, you don't chase, you attract.
I don't chase, I attract.
Yeah. My music shout out of the week is I'm literally like plugging this in like every form of content today, but my friend's band Chalk Talk.
Yes.
It's because I'm wearing their shirt today that I got at their concert last week. If you're watching the video episode, you can see it.
You can also see Anna holding up a pop filter. Like what?
Like really strangely.
Anyways, I'm hands free.
But they have this song called The Idiot, which is really good. I think it's their most recent song, and it's on Spotify. So yes, The Idiot by Chalk Talk. And speaking of Spotify, we have a playlist where we put all of our music shout outs. If you want to access it, you can go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod. And we have a little highlight section called Playlist. You can click on that to get to the link to our playlist. And
So true.
you can check out all of our strange and interesting music finds. And yeah.
I literally watched 2 things this week for my TV shout out.
Oh, okay.
They're not new. I've yet to watch something new, but I watched Legally Blonde and The Devil Wears Prada.
Ooh.
So good. And just like, because with college applications coming soon, seeing the Elwood's process of getting into Harvard, it's inspiring.
It's inspiring, yeah.
It truly is, because it's like, what? Like, it's hard. Like, I feel like that's the mindset that I need to adapt. Instead of thinking, oh my God, they have a 1% acceptance rate. I'm like, what? Like, it's hard.
I don't think I've watched any movies still, but me and my mom have been watching the show The Chosen season 4 because that came out like a few months ago and we still hadn't both watched it. So then I was like, we can just watch it together while I'm home. So
And The Devil Wears Prada, all I have to say about it is, that's all. And I love Meryl Streep. Because, she always good, that's all.
I've only seen that movie once.
Was it with me? Was that
Yeah,
one time?
it was with
okay.
you, yeah.
Yeah, well, I watched it again and it was really good. It's just like something about it. I don't know. I love Anne Hathaway, and then Emily Blunt in it is pretty iconic. I just like, everyone fits into the roles so well. And Meryl Streep, I don't know. Like, I feel like she gets hate. If she's done, like, I don't know. I feel like people have said that she's too like diva or like over the top, whatever.
In that movie specifically?
Or maybe just like,
in general?
I feel like I've seen that like on comment sections and all that. I personally love Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's not like problematic or something. I don't think she is.
I think I thought everybody loved her, but
I love her. And she was such a good Dee Allen, and I'm gonna make you watch that movie tonight.
yes. Yeah.
The Prom.
We should.
Yay.
And then I'll make you watch Theater Camp.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a deal.
okay. So let's get into the topic, shall we?
Yes. How are you feeling about senior year? You have 2 weeks until you move back.
I'm
Thoughts and
actually-
feelings, comments and concerns.
Typically, like most years, I'm like dreading going back to school. I'm like, ugh.
Me this year.
Usually going back in the fall is slightly more exciting than going back, say, like after winter break, after Christmas. That's like really hard.
Okay, true.
But I'm like more excited this year mainly because I haven't been in Savannah in like 6 months because I was studying abroad and then in LA. So I'm like I'm kind of like nostalgic about Savannah now, and also I made a bunch of new friends in Lacoste and study abroad, that I'm like excited to see again. So I'm like feeling very good about senior year. I'm also like stressed because I know that my class, like this quarter specifically, is going to be so hard because I have really hard classes, and just like fall is always crazy because it's also Film Fest, and I do a lot for Film Fest, and I also just like to go to all the movies at Film Fest.
Exactly.
Like, despite it being busy, like it's so worth it. Like, I'm not gonna pass up Film Fest for anything because that's like what's so awesome about SCAD. And then also October is just crazy because it's like my birthday and Halloween, and I always just want to go like all out in October, like just do everything because I'm never gonna waste in October. But yeah, I'm excited. What about you?
I am like I'm a little bit scared. I like if I were to say that I wasn't dreading it, I think I would be lying just a tad because when everybody talks about senior year in high school, they try to say this is a comfort, but they'll say the first semester is always rough, but the second semester is like you're supposed to be at your peak. But the stressful thing is that first semester is the upcoming one. So I'm a little bit nervous and my schedule and everything. So yesterday they had a little time slot where you could go and get your schedule changed and all that with your counselor from 11 to 1. And I got there at 10:50. So me getting there early, like I was determined. I was like, I'm going to be there. There's already a line and I ended up waiting an hour to be called
Right.
before I got to it. But thankfully, I heard some other counselors being like, we're not touching second semester and being a little bit more strict about, or like just being less flexible about changing schedules. But my counselor, love him, shout out. He was like listening to all the requests. And so one of the things was when they gave me my schedule, they just did not give me a second period, which what am I supposed to do? Like just sit in my car for an hour? Like, because so I signed up to have 8 classes my senior year, but I guess like a bunch of them didn't happen. Like I signed up for AP African American Studies, which I guess like it's just not happening anymore. Because
Really?
it's not on my schedule and I haven't heard anybody taking the class.
That's weird.
So
Maybe the
they
teacher just left and they just couldn't find another
maybe like they just didn't have enough like
demand.
demand for it, or like they couldn't find a classroom for, you know what I mean? Like there's could be so many reasons why, but that's not happening anymore, unfortunately. So I just had like a hole. So I was like, could I take AP Comparative Government because that's the class that I wanted to take? And he was saying that they only have availability for it a second semester. So I switched into that for next semester. And then he was like, what other classes do you want to take to fill this hole? Like, let's try to find a class. So I was like, AP Stat, like, is there any availability? And he was like, there is. Like, do you want to take it? And I was like, sure. So now I'm taking another math class. And this time when I complain about it,
with.
right. And because I don't know, I actually passed the pre-calc exam, which for some miracle, but I
And
don't
then
know
like you might never have to do math again after that.
literally because not all colleges take the pre-calc credit. So I'm taking stat. And I feel like this time if I complain about it, it's like nobody feels bad. Like I'm putting me when I'm complaining about something that I put myself willingly through.
Yeah.
But okay, so for you, you're a graphic design major. Like, is this the time where like you're like it's very major focused instead of
Yeah, like this will be the first quarter I think where I'm taking only major classes, and I mean in the past I've taken like
that's so major.
I know. In the past I've taken like maybe 2 major classes and then a minor class, but I just like didn't the way my schedule lined up, like I'm not taking an ad class this quarter, which will be interesting because I like love my ad classes and that's usually my favorite one, which is funny because that's my minor and not my major. But I think it'll be good for me to like refocus on graphic design, and also I feel like I've had a really good like break from graphic design for the past like 6 months because in study abroad I was taking just art history and then like a travel sketchbook class, and I just like really loved like I feel like I got to like refocus on like what I like about art, and I've become a lot more like art minded in the past few months, if that makes sense. So now I'm like I want to incorporate more art into my graphic design. Like I feel like I got to a place in my graphic design like at the end of this past calendar year, like at the end of 2023, where I was like kind of like I feel like I was kind of stuck and just like doing the same thing.
Like formulaic.
Yeah. Whereas now I feel like I'm finally going to be able to like level up. I feel like I've taken some new stuff out of my classes and now I can like apply that to graphic design and have kind of like a new style. I want my style to be a lot more like handmade and like incorporating more physical stuff, like scanning in physical work into the graphic design instead of doing it all digitally. Like, yeah. And then also like now I'm the creative director for my school's newspaper, because I like the old creative director graduated and I was kind of like next in line.
Bye. I'm just kidding.
So I'm like excited about that because yeah, it's just cool. Like, you know, it's the last year. Like, I feel like you always expect in college to like join a club and then maybe level up to like the senior or the like, what's the word? The leadership positions during the last year. So I'll get to like be more of a leader in that way. Like, it's also, it's just now hitting me that it's like my senior year. What the heck?
Same.
Oh my gosh. It like just hit me. Oh my gosh.
Senior year, guys.
And it's funny because you always picture the seniors as like so big and like they know like so
I feel
much
like I'm
more
12.
than you. But like how am I a senior in college, guys?
And the class coming in this year is the class of 2029? No, 2028?
Yeah.
2028. That is terrifying. And I don't like I'm
Oh wait, you're the
processing.
class of 2029.
I know, for next year. So I've processed that like I'm a senior, but I keep forgetting that means that nobody's older than me. Like we are the oldest.
2029 sounds like a fake year.
It
That
literally
does not
does.
sound like a real year.
We're also on episode 60
Ew, I
of
feel like the
Telepathy.
world's gonna end before 2029 because what is that number?
Episode 60 of Telepathy also. So that's like a
Oh my gosh,
milestone. A
episode 60,
milestone.
guys.
Yay.
Guys, Telepathy is so famous, but we're just not famous.
Exactly.
So like we're just so famous. Like guys, everybody share this episode with somebody because we're really just trying to like it's just our time. It's just our time.
It's our time to
and
grow.
people don't realize it yet. So I don't know where that came from, but like
It came from desperation.
yeah. So the reason I came up with this episode idea was like I feel like when especially throughout like high school and middle school and elementary school, you're like when you're starting a new year, it's like you get all the new school supplies and you're like this is like everything's going to be perfect this year. Like I'm going to make it the perfect year, which definitely like as you mentioned is the kind of the new year phenomenon with the resolutions where it's like you want to it's like something about a fresh start makes you feel like you can start over and like make your life perfect. But also like technically you could like time isn't real. Like
you could have a new beginning
like you could
tomorrow.
have a new beginning
Tomorrow's
whenever.
a new beginning.
Yeah. So
the
like
next hour.
like time isn't real. Although I do think it's easier to say before starting school, like it's easier to have a fresh start before starting school. Like it's harder to have a fresh start, say halfway through the quarter when you're like swamped and you literally are so behind on stuff that you like are constantly playing catch up, you know? You know, like that. It's hard to have a fresh start there.
I think even there's been times during the school year where during the weekend, it is like I'm thinking about the upcoming week and I'm saying to myself, this is going to be different. We're going to be so much more like focused and all of that. But it's like, I feel like instead I need to accept that it's never going to be perfect and accept how to make the present moment the most productive instead of thinking about this unrealistic future where there's no problems and I'm stress-free and I'm getting everything done. But it's like, that's not going to happen. So instead, start now.
Yeah, it's like what people say, or I feel like this is like a company motto, like the future is now.
I'm not good
I feel like
with
that's a company, I don't know. The future is now. I was going to say it's like an inspirational quote, but I actually think it's like a company like motto. But anyways, I feel like it's true, like the future is now, because like when you think about it, like if you're sitting on your phone or just like procrastinating, like the days are gonna build up and that's like what your life is.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like anything's gonna change in the future if you don't change now.
Like, it's not what you do tomorrow that shapes the future. It's what you do today.
Yeah,
Does that make
exactly.
sense?
Yeah.
I don't even know, guys. I think I'm like,
No, that's like, yeah, that's what I was getting at. Um, do you have any, okay, do you think it's possible to keep up this like inspirational momentum that you would have like going into the school year? And if so, like what tips do you think there would be?
I
Like
think you can
have you
definitely.
ever had a successful, say, like semester where you've actually kept up the positive momentum?
Yeah, well, I think that that's the thing is you have to accept that it's about the marathon and not just about an individual race because yeah, I mean race like running race,
No, no. I was laughing because it was just so like
poetic.
it was, yeah, it was just so like
So true.
inspirational that it
It ain't
sounded
about the race
fake.
either, it's the marathon. So basically, I'll take this for example. Last semester during the third quarter, I did good in A push and I had the grade that I wanted, but in APES, which is AP Environmental Science, I wasn't doing as good as I had hoped. And so then the next semester or the next quarter, so fourth quarter, I was doing good in APES, like actually really good in APES, but not so good in A push. And so I struggled like in each class with a different quarter. And then at the end, I had to work really hard to do good on the exam to balance out both grades. And I ended up getting all the grades that I wanted and
Oh, good.
all of that. So I think definitely, even though I was able to end up with an A and like the grade that I'd hoped for, it's still like I still didn't do good on a few tests, And I think that to not kill your motivation, you have to realize that it's okay to not do good on a test. And it doesn't mean that your life is now over and you broke the streak. I think that it's those moments that are like so determining. So does
Right.
that make sense? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like you have to get up. It's not about the failure itself, it's how you respond to it. So if you don't do good on a test, it doesn't mean your life is over. But if you let that test determine how you feel about yourself and let it get you down, then maybe the next test you're not going to do as good because you've literally psyched yourself out now.
Yeah.
So keep your head up is what I'm trying to say.
I was just thinking about this like motivational thing that I've heard a lot is like motivation doesn't come to you, like motivation comes after action. So like
Okay.
you sit around thinking that eventually motivation will strike, but actually you get motivated by like just starting it.
Oh,
And
like
then
you have
maybe
to
like,
create
yeah, maybe
motivation.
like a few hours in, then you'll start feeling motivated about it. Like you can't just sit around and wait for motivation, which actually, like, I kind of feel that today because recently I've been, well, I mean, I just got a YouTube video up today, but like recently I've been like trying to get motivated to edit my YouTube videos because I like really want to, but like I just keep not doing it. But I had to do it because I had a sponsorship that had to come out today. But then today, I mean, my video went up, and then we've been literally making content the whole day for our collabs and stuff.
Right. I'm
So I
like,
felt
it's a
like way
job.
more motivated after starting to do that. Now I'm like, I just want to keep like doing it. And then also, I was thinking of this other thing. What was it? Oh, I feel like a goal that I want to try to have this year is like it's kind of along those lines where like I can't just wait to work on the hard thing about like doing all design projects for school is that sometimes if you don't feel motivated about one thing, you don't feel motivated about anything.
That's so true.
So like I think I'm gonna try to create a routine of like trying to block out my days of like I'm gonna work for at least an hour on each project every day because I can't just like push off a project and wait for the motivation to strike. Like I could even if it's just sitting at my computer for an hour like trying to think of ideas, like it's better than nothing cuz
Right.
it's not like I mean the idea could strike randomly, like that is sometimes how creativity works, but also like I need to be more like active about working on it than just being like I have to sit around and wait.
I kind of have a good analogy. So imagine you have a bunch of dominoes in line you don't want to wait for the wind to come and knock over the first domino to send everything else into a domino effect. You need to be the one to push that first
Oh my
domino.
gosh.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and
that's
notice
good.
how like you just have to be the one to push the first domino. You don't have to push all of them.
Oh my
But if you're
gosh.
waiting for the wind to come and knock the first one down to trigger everything else,
Dang, that's it. That was
guys,
good.
I
I fear
did
you,
that.
what's the word?
Did I?
Ate too close to the sun, or
I girl boss too close
girl
to the
boss
sun.
too close to the sun.
I love the English language.
Also, this is now just becoming like flow of like things that come to my mind. But I was trying to think of, and you can talk about this too, is like, well, I guess you were like tips. Yeah, we were talking about tips. That's why I came up with this. we, I feel like if you want to try to like have a fresh start on things regularly, I used to do this back in like maybe 2021, was like a Sunday reset routine where you kind of like clean everything up. You like clean out your computer a little bit so that it doesn't build up to like all these files everywhere. And then also just doing some errands or chores that like have piled up throughout the week. And then that way you feel a lot more refreshed and can actually like focus for the week. And it makes it fun because it's like you literally do feel like you have a fresh start every week. And I was doing that for a while and then I stopped for whatever reason. But I think I'm going to try to incorporate that again because it just like, I think it will help me to stay organized and like motivated.
I think that a huge struggle can be getting stuck in a loop or feeling like your routine is just a cycle going around and around. So if you kind of divide it up week by week and then kind of reset, not to start a new cycle, but just to keep like up and up, so where the path feels new and you don't
Right.
feel like you're just in this endless time loop. So whether that's, let's say you go on a walk every day, changing up the path, or even listening to different music, or just wearing, maybe like you not change up your style, but you kind of, I don't know, stick to a certain color palette one week and then another, but you don't have to do it in a way where it feels like you're forcing this
Yeah.
change, but more let it free flow.
Something that I've like been thinking about recently is like sometimes I feel like I have so many hobbies and I'm like, why can't I just stay consistent and do all these things every day? But then I'm like, but then life would be boring because you're literally doing the same thing every day. So I like to think of it as like mixing and matching your hobbies for the day. Like it's like choose your character for the day. Like today I'm going to play the guitar. Today I'm going to like edit my YouTube video. Today, and like that way you can choose it more based on like what you actually want to do. Because I feel like when you force yourself, I mean, sometimes making yourself do something every day is good. Like, say if you're trying to learn the guitar, like, it's good to practice every day. Because then you'll feel like you actually want to do things, is like when you are like mixing and matching for the day.
Yeah, I think a huge thing is making sure that you're not biting off more than you can chew. Because, I mean, let's take today, for example. You got super motivated making content. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, today I feel so motivated, let's be really productive, maybe you're so motivated to the point where we finished recording this episode and you're like, let's do another one. I think it's important to kind of take a step back and say, we recorded one, that's good for today, because then tomorrow you'll wake up and you'll say, I don't want to record the podcast. And the next day you say no, because like, don't burn yourself out.
I feel like I've maybe talked about, I feel like I've said this in an episode before, but I heard this really good productivity tip once, which was like, don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're like, stop when you're like kind of at a climax of it where you're like really having fun. Like say you got to like a really fun part of editing and you're like, wait, this is so funny. I mean, obviously don't stop if you just started like 3 minutes ago. But say you've been working for like 2 hours and you're at like a really good place, you could stop right there. And then that way you'll be excited to come back to it like later that day or like the next day or whatever. And it keeps it like exciting because if you stop when you're at, I've kind of a good analogy for this actually. So have you ever been reading a book and you stop at this part that you just like kind of get bored at, and then it goes, say, like 5 days and you feel like you're still on the same page.
Right.
Because you just like can't get past this page.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like I was editing a video the other day and I like got to this part where I was just kind of like getting bored. And then now I feel like I'm stuck at that part. Like I haven't really edited since then because it's like I just can't get past that part. But if I had stopped maybe like 3 minutes earlier in the video, like maybe I would have wanted to come back sooner.
It's definitely easy to get stuck because if you say I'm going to sit down and do my homework and the first hour you're so productive and you're like, oh my gosh, it's been an hour, but I don't even need a break. Like I'm just going to keep going. It's so tempting to think to yourself, I can keep doing this for hours. And then by the end of hour 2, you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. So then you're like, okay, finally I'm going to take a break. And the break that you would hope to be 15 minutes is now 45 minutes. And then you get back to it and you want another break as opposed to saying, I'm going to work on this for an hour and then you get 15 minutes. And then hour 2 doesn't feel as bad, but then you get to take another break. And it's so easy. And I'm so guilty of this is trying to get into this cycle. I feel like almost not getting into the flow of things can be better. Like, does that make sense? Like, I know that's,
Yeah.
and I don't like mean that literally, but I think if you get into a flow where you're able to work for a period of time and then take a step back, I feel like that's a good
Yeah.
flow. Like you're still in a flow, you know what I mean?
True.
As opposed to just being in a flow doesn't mean sitting down for 4 hours and then getting sidetracked because you refuse to take a break, but then you're not able to work as hard.
Yeah, that's when it's like it's kind of interesting because I feel like it's hard with like creative stuff because I feel like you could do that with like say math homework, but sometimes for me at least like I found with my creative process is like I have to get into that flow state, and when I'm in that flow state, I don't want to do anything to break out of it because they say that once you break your flow state, it could take like an hour to get back into it.
Oh no.
So like if you take a 15-minute break, you might as well just take an hour break because you're not going to be able to get back into it. So I feel like I've kind of experimented with that through the years of like how to get into my flow state and like the proper methods to do that. So, but I don't know. But I do wish, it's like I wish I could do that method of like taking a 15-minute break and stuff. But I think this is also because of short form content. It always comes back to this, but like 15 minutes just doesn't feel that long. Or say if I watched like a 15-minute YouTube video, I feel like that would be a more substantial break than like sitting on TikTok for 15 minutes.
Because there's a complete beginning, middle, and end. But
yeah,
with short form content, there's no beginning, there's no middle, there's no end.
Yeah.
It's just like
I think we should make merch that says like we hate short form content or something like that. Like we're short form content phobic or like something
or
like
we
that.
should just have like a shirt that says short form content and it's just like crossed out.
Yeah. I feel like that, yeah, I feel like we should so do that because it just always, it's like it started off as a joke, I feel like a few episodes ago where we were like, it always comes back to short form content, but then now we're like, it literally does.
At first I was like, I hate short form content, but now I'm like, I hate short form content.
Exactly.
But no, that's a huge thing is, let's say I'm doing something and I'm doing my homework and I need to search something on Google because I'm like, I don't know what this word means or whatever. Such a bad thing is then I see a notification and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this person texted me, except nobody texted me.
Yeah.
But I click on Instagram and I'm like, I'm just gonna check to see if anybody DM'd me. Nobody DM'd me.
Yeah.
But then I spend 30 minutes going through somebody's story, seeing them repost.
Yeah, and then you go
something
down through this whole rabbit hole of like checking all your apps, and then you're like, okay, I need to get off my phone, and then you turn off your phone and get back to work, and you're like, oh, but I actually needed to do that.
Yeah, yes.
It's like in La La Land.
Wait, Mia, when she's like, is this gluten free?
Yeah.
Let me check on that. And then she comes back. That was telepathy kind of because I was thinking about that.
Yeah, when she's like, okay, wait, let me go check if it's gluten free, and then Sebastian comes to the coffee shop and he's like, can I go wait in the bathroom until your shift is done? And then they talk for a while, and then her manager's like, you requested off on this day, and Mia's like, I have an audition, like,
she gets sidetracked, and then she comes back to the lady because the lady's like you were helping me. She was like, sorry, like let me get back to you, and then she walks over there and she's like, Wait, I actually do have to check if that was gluten-free.
Yeah.
So she goes back.
We're pulling out so many good analogies
I know.
today. What the
Ugh.
heck? We need to have energy drinks way more.
We should record 3 more podcast episodes after
Yes,
this.
you're so right.
Never break the flow state.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That contradicts everything I was saying earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I feel like, what were we even talking about? Because we went on this
Getting
sidetrack.
sidetracked.
Yeah.
Like on your phone and
Yeah.
coming back to your
short form
assignment.
content. Yeah. Oh, but what I was kind of getting at was just like, I wish I could find a way to make, maybe I should like do more research into this or something, but like I wish I could find a way to make 15 minutes feel longer. Because I feel like a 15-minute break just isn't good enough for me.
Have you heard about that thing where before doing something, you literally sit in silence and stare at a wall for 10 minutes with no distractions?
Really?
And then that's supposed to motivate you to like basically you have no stimulation whatsoever.
That you're so bored that you're like,
you're so
I might
bored
as
that
well
like
just do
when you come
this.
back, you're like, let's do my homework.
Wait.
I haven't tried that, but I kind of want to try
Wait,
it.
I'm going to try that. I really want to try that.
BRB,
Maybe we
staring
could
at a
do that
wall.
as part
Wait,
of our
it's so bright now.
We could do that as part of our dopamine detox. But I
I
feel
do have
like
a face.
I feel like that would give us dopamine through doing that. So maybe not for the dopamine detox.
Exactly.
But I will try that at some point.
Yes. So, what are some other things like that you're looking forward to senior year? They can be very, very basic.
Well, just one thing about senior year, I feel like I'm definitely gonna like romanticize way too much out of it. Like
I'm trying not to do that. I cringe when everyone's like senior Sunday every week.
for me it's not like that. It's more just like my brain has this obsession with being like, oh, this is the last blah blah blah. This is the last blah blah blah. So I'm already thinking like this is the last
First day of school.
oh my gosh, the last first day of school. It's also the last school fall. It's the last school fall. Like college fall vibes. You know, like I feel like you always associate like school with fall.
Yeah. Wait, that's kind of.
But it's like
that's
for
really
the
true.
aesthetic. So it's like I'm never gonna have that type of fall where it's like new beginnings at school. It's just gonna be like, all right, another day at work fall.
Okay, that's another thing that I feel like I need to stop doing shit just for the aesthetic, because that's why burnout is when I'm like, oh my gosh, school, but it's like I'm not even.
I don't know.
Wait, but
Wait,
romanticizing
no,
it kind of helps.
I kind of disagree because I'm like, if I go to a coffee shop and I'm like, I'm doing school at the coffee shop and I look so mysterious.
But does
and
that work long
artsy,
term?
like-
I don't know. I feel like maybe
I don't know.
I kind of have to
Wait.
switch it up though.
That gives. I kind of want to make a video now. I need to like make a new list of video ideas to keep motivated. But I want to make a video of like romanticizing everything to stay motivated.
I did that 3 years ago.
Man, well,
You're too late.
technically I'm 3 years behind you, maybe in YouTube
Oh.
terms. So romanticizing.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm not actually. I keep forgetting that like
everything.
people listening to the audio just hear me saying seriously, like I already did that. When in reality, the video episode is me sitting with green sunglasses, being like, I already did that. Like, read the room.
Wait, we need to take a behind the scenes. Wait, remember when we used to take like the selfies?
Yes.
For...
Anyways, so something that I'm looking forward to is a senior musical. Please give us something good.
When are they gonna announce it?
I think like the fall.
I can't wait to hear what it is.
I can't either, but I also feel like I possibly could. I could wait.
Yeah,
I
because it's like
could.
then it's like that's it.
Like I could wait because it might not be good, and then I'm like, I can wait.
I hope it's good.
I hope it's like more modern, and I feel like we're deep enough into the episode to where I can rant about this. But like, so my dream show would be the prom, because I want to play Angie so bad, which is Nicole Kidman's character, and in the movie musical,
Right.
And that's just like a dream. Also, Ursula, of course, is a dream. I have other dream roles like Morticia Addams. I feel like would be so fun.
Ooh.
My current prediction is The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
I don't know, like I'm just doing the math and like I feel like it could be. Also,
Who would you
SpongeBob.
want to be in The Wizard of Oz?
The Scarecrow.
I love the Scarecrow. He's my favorite.
Yeah, that's I feel like that's the only one that I would do seriously, because like I'm not being the Tin Tin Man, and then the Lion. No, and then
Yeah, you would be good at the Scarecrow, I think. If
And-
I only had a brain.
I could while away the hour
Hours.
conferring with the flowers.
I feel like you could
consulting with the
be
rain, but he goes consulting with the
consulting with the rain.
And in my
Anyways.
head, I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain.
I need to watch that movie again. It's been a while. I'm also looking forward to
I love the switch up. If I only had a brain. I'm also looking forward to.
my brain kicks back in.
And I got a brain.
Yeah.
You said if only I had a brain, and your brain was like, hey girl, I'm here.
Yeah. I'm also looking forward to, graduation. I kind of forgot that I have to like graduate, you know? Like,
Yeah, but like what are the
more
last
like
three letters?
Yeah. Shion?
No,
Yon?
graduate.
Oh,
Graduate.
I was like, I-O-N. Like, Eon.
Eon.
Because it feels like an eon away.
So true.
Like, that'll be fun to like take pictures, graduation pictures and all that. But like, what the heck? Like, that's already coming up. But it'll be sad to like for it to be the last of everything because like last film fest, like I love the film fest.
I think the reason why I'm dreading senior year, but I kind of am trying to stay in this moment because I'm fearful of a year from now because literally I haven't applied, like none of my college applications are in. I don't know where I'm going, and a year from now I apparently will know that.
Same
And
with
that's,
me,
like-
but with like jobs.
Yeah, like we don't know where we're gonna work, where we're gonna go to school, where we're gonna live.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I also know, I already know that like myself in a year from now and plus, past that, what am I trying to say? A year from now and past that, I'm gonna like romanticize college, which I already am romanticizing college because I've been away from it for 6 months, so I can like I can imagine what I would romanticize. So now I'm like, okay, I have to make the most out of this because then like that's it. And like, what the heck?
No,
and
that's
also like I definitely don't see myself living in Savannah after college because that's like there's just not really jobs there. But like I'm gonna miss Savannah. And I don't want to live there my whole life, but like I'm gonna miss it and I'm gonna romanticize it. So now I'm like, okay, I have to like make the most out of it, you know?
I know. I think that one of the things about like a senior musical is it's really not that stressful. You know, if it's not a good show, it's not a good show, but it's just the idea that that's the last time that a senior musical will be announced. And like if it's not something that I like, it's like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And that would suck because last year's was
It's gonna be good. I have a feeling. I hope.
I hope so. I really hope so. If not, I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah. I don't really know what else there's to say. Like,
I don't know either.
I think this was just a good like talk about like, you know, our senior year, but then also like it kind of reminded me of some motivation tips because I feel like I haven't really been in that mindset for a while. I've literally been in vacation mode for the past 5 months and just like on autopilot and thinking about like other things. But now I'm like, I feel like I'm back to myself. Like, I feel like I got to be a different person for the past 5 months. And now I'm like, okay, back to like productivity 2021 era Anna.
Okay.
You know? Like, I want to get back to that, but then still incorporate all the things from my new life.
I think
Because I've literally become a new person this year. I don't know what it is.
I'm like a little bit traumatized from junior year still. And I'm not even saying that to be like cute and quirky. Like genuinely, academics now scare me because last year was so horrible. And I'm scared that it's going to be like that again. And I just like hear that it's stressful. And,
And you have to like apply to colleges and write essays.
and film short films.
Yeah. When does your short film have to be done by?
I mean, November 1st. Like, I need to hurry it up. I said I was going to film that this summer. Did I do it? No. At least it's written
gosh.
and there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
plans and like, I feel like okay about the idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm scared. I don't know. I just like,
Yeah. I'm not trying to like traumatize you, but like
it wasn't good for
college
you.
applications are just so traumatizing.
Well,
But I mean, you already wrote an essay. Like you're already way ahead of it. I hadn't even started by now.
but I feel like I'm good at writing it. But the idea of like, not good at writing it, I am good about timing the first draft, but it's like the revision process seems so daunting for
Yeah.
some reason. So I'm just like,
We'll get back to you guys in like 8 months about how the year went.
we'll also
Well,
get back to you guys next Tuesday.
yeah, with a different episode that we don't yet know the title or the topic of.
No, we do. We plan really well, actually.
No, we
No,
live day by day.
I think that my conclusion is that there's actually different ways to be motivated because I feel like we almost contradicted ourselves at some point
Yeah.
because we were
We
saying,
didn't have telepathy with like,
oh, it wasn't
our
not
work.
telepathy. It was just like different perspectives,
Yeah.
you know, because I got like really,
that's
really
a new,
Kardashian there for a
that's
second.
new like little t-shirt idea. It's not telepathy. It's just different perspectives.
Exactly, because we were saying that to stay motivated, you should take breaks. But then we are also saying that like getting out of the flow state, like you're fucked for the next hour.
Yeah.
You're screwed. Sorry.
Family-friendly podcast.
I'm sorry, guys.
There could be 5-year-olds listening to this.
If I only had a brain.
But yeah, like I think what I've kind of learned throughout college is that you kind of have to like experiment with your
Everything.
especially in the creative world, like you have to experiment with your creative process, and I feel like I finally figured out what my creative process is. And once you have that, you have to like stick to it because it's like everybody has their own way of doing it. So I feel like I've like curated my creative process, but I have to like trust it. And like sometimes I don't trust it, but you have to trust the process. But like it's hard.
Trust the process, guys.
Trust the creative process.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed or watching if you watched the video episode.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. If you have listened this far, you're literally like among the top
Two.
two people in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm just kidding.
And we know who you are.
And you're elite.
Yeah. But yes, follow our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod for updates. We're also going to try to like start posting on TikTok and short form content.
We're so hypocritical. We're like, we hate TikTok also.
But hey, we have to follow the ways of the world, and we're genuinely,
evolve.
we need to start getting ourselves out there because we're just so iconic and the world doesn't know it yet.
I think that's me. That's literally like, I think why I've struggled on YouTube is because I'm really stubborn about like, I'm not going to give in to the algorithm and make my title something clickable. I'm just going to make it what I want. And obviously like, yes, we love like free spirited, just doing your own thing, but also like, I think it's okay. It's okay to work up to that point.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have to give into the algorithm to get where you need to go, that sounds really weird.
That's true though.
But like we want people to hear about our podcast. So even if that means going on TikTok, you know, it doesn't mean that we're giving into TikTok. It just means that we're wanting to expand and find an audience that will want to listen to us and will enjoy, you know?
Yeah. And I truly believe there is one out there.
Yes. And we love hearing feedback too and just like your opinions and your thoughts.
We love DMing our fans.
No, our listeners. Fans
I know. We love DMing you guys because it's fun. And I like when you say that you like listening to us because sometimes we're like, is anybody listening to us? Like, are we speaking into a void? But either way, we're still going to do it because it's fun.
Because it's fun, because we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And people love what other people are passionate about.
So true. So true. But yeah, we'll see you guys next Tuesday with another video.
Another episode, possibly in video form.
Wait, I think the next episode is coming out on like your first day of, no. Your second week of school, my second day of school.
So we're already in it. My first day of school vlog and everything's already out now, and our collabs are coming this Friday. So everyone stay tuned for that and, you know, watch those things.
Yes.
And we appreciate you all. And we're really dragging out this outro, but we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.